Kia ora koutou. Hello, everyone. I'm Paolo Bertolin, Artistic Director of Marama, New Zealand International Film Festival 2024. And I'm here with one of the directors of the films that we are presenting in the festival, Timm Kröger, the director of Theorie von Allem, the Universal Theory, a film that we are presenting in the Vision section, the space where we are screening films that are artistically creative and show the talent and the vision of established masters and up-and-coming new directors. Tim, welcome and thanks for being with us.
Hi, it's a pleasure.
As I'm doing with everyone, I would like to start this conversation with a question about the general description of the film. And I would like to ask you to describe in your own words what the Theorie von Allem, the universal theory, is in terms of its narrative and its style.
Oh, let's try. I guess it's a lot of things, but for me, it really started as my take on Thomas Mann's The Magic Mountain, basically, because The Magic Mountain is set in Switzerland, obviously in a hotel before World War One, but this one isn't. It is set in Switzerland. It is in a hotel, but it's about a physics congress in 1962. So there are kind of, the echoes of World War II in Germany still happening. And we follow a young physicist who travels there, and he's not really supposed to be there, but he seems to be key some happenings there, to some strange things that happen there. And he falls in love with a young pianist that seems to know things about him that she really shouldn't know, it's impossible for her to know. And then a German physicist dies and everything is very mysterious. We always pitched it as this kind of Hitchcockian thriller meeting some kind of Lynch energy. And obviously it's kind of silly to operate with these big names, but in this case it seemed, prudent.
Thank you, Tim. The narrative itself is very gripping because it's based on a mystery that thickens as it advances, and we discover that this is kind of an auteur version of the multiverse. At the same time, I really felt that this was also a love story. At heart, the film is a love story and a tragic one. How did you start writing this story, and how did this element come together?
It started a long time ago, and when I had really no notion of the multiverse. It was almost 9 years ago, and going in, I had no kind of plan going to in this direction. I mean, we knew it was about physicists, and I co-wrote with the screenwriter, but relatively early on, he had this multiverse idea that really fit my idea of atmospheres and the weird characters that we were going to meet, and also the kind of paranoia that I imagined would be present in this hotel. So that really fit the bill in terms of the narrative. And we were kind of excited about it because, 9 years ago, the multiverse wasn't as big a thing as it is now. We're kind of sick of it, frankly, now, because it's everywhere. But I still believe we found our own special way of dealing with it. Like a strange space between nostalgia and paranoia, which I think most Hollywood films have not attempted yet.
Thank you. In terms of the style, in terms of how the film plays out, it feels like Universal Theory is a film that is deeply infused with references, and it seems like it really encompasses a whole notion of bringing into the film classic cinema, but also, as you mentioned, Lynch or Fassbinder. So many names can come up to a cinephile's mind while watching the film. At the same time, the film is not just simply a string of quotes. So, how did you manage to make this deep connection with the cinema of the past and great directors into something that is organic and feels really your own?
To be honest, that was kind of scary. It was a kind of scary thought in the beginning, because I knew it would be kind of like a cinephile's playground. And the film is that, obviously, but quite consciously we made the decision not to look at these films that we're quoting constantly all the time, but kind of go with our memory of these films and kind of rely on our memory image of what the substance of these films plot and style was about and how we remember them, because I wanted the film to be modern at the same time. I mean, it's almost reactionary in terms of style. It's more like a 40s 50s film than a film set in 1960 in terms of its style, and it really goes there. Like we really attempted to make a film that tries to convince you it was made in the 1950s, for instance. But of course, we knew that wouldn't work. But when that doesn't work, something strange would happen, I assumed, and that was what intrigued me really. So like I said, we relied on our memory image, and I feel cinema is is the art form that lends itself the best to emulate the dream experience, which is not connected by logic, but by a kind of it's a kind of multiverse of images and of symbols that get mixed up in your head, and that's the way I approached this film. And I mean, the plot is integral. It's not all a dream, and it's not all random. And I think you can explore that if you see the film and if you watch it, maybe even more than once. But I think you can feel that there's a sort of dreamlike or nightmarish energy infusing the whole thing.
I personally can confirm that watching the film more than once is still totally a discovery and enriching, and you keep finding details and pieces of the puzzle that come together. Thank you so much, Tim, for answering my questions. It has been a pleasure to talk about your magnificent film. I hope our audiences here in New Zealand discover it in screenings here at the festival and will like it. And I look forward to meeting you again somewhere soon. And I hope that our audiences will watch other interviews in this series. Thank you so much.